Welcome back to the Heal and Restore podcast with your host, me, of course. But
who are you?
I'm Randy.
Oh, hi, Randy.
Right. I'm your husband.
I know.
Right.
I just want to make sure our listeners knew.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, just me. Me's
just
not
me.
really. Just me.
Who's me?
Just me. Whoever you want it to be, right? It could be Santa Claus. Who knows?
Ho, ho, ho.
But of course, it's hard when I'm sitting next to this beautiful woman, my wife, as the hostess with the mostess, right? So we're here because our heart is to help individuals and couples grow stronger through healing, honest conversation, and meaningful connection.
Yeah.
Each week, we talk about real-life topics like communication, forgiveness, intimacy, family, and emotional health, because healthy relationships begin with healed hearts.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Spit it out.
Thanks for turning. So I've got, we're raw. Thanks for tuning in as we take another step together toward restoring what matters most.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, I'm going to keep going here because
I
don't want to stumble. I want to pick up on your stumbling there.
Just keep going.
So today we're going to talk about something that affects every relationship, whether you realize it or not, and that's your attachment style and how it connects to emotional safety. And I'm sure a lot of you are thinking, attachment style, I've never heard of that. Great, we're glad you're here. So a couple weeks ago, we had a topic called Why Love Isn't Enough, Emotional Safety in Marriage. Today we're going to dive a little deeper, and we're going to talk about the attachment styles that affect our emotional safety. That's our emotional safety in marriages, relationships, there's dynamics, family, everything.
Basically in everything, right? Yes, and this is a big one, right? Because a lot of couples come in and they think their problem is communication, which it still is the number one issue, but there's things attached to that, right? Or conflict, which many times it is.
Yeah. But underneath all of that, what we find is that they don't feel emotionally safe with each other. And there's a reason for that.
My mind just went to when we're talking about we talk about communication, and then we're going to talk about this connection today, right? Our attachment styles. Underneath communication, you got all these things below it that are part of that poor communication.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not just the communication. Again, it's some of these attachment theories we're going to talk about, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so what's even more important is this. Most of those patterns, they didn't start in the marriage, right? So don't be blaming your partner. They started in childhood. Because everything you do is learn behavior, and unfortunately, a lot of our learned behavior wasn't the best. And at a subconscious level, too.
Very true. So this is where we're going to start. What do we mean by emotional safety?
You got to think about it.
What do we mean?
What do we mean? Oh, emotional safety is the ability to fully be yourself in a relationship, to be seen, to be heard, to be known, and still be accepted. I saw a meme this morning that I sent to Cathy because it said something like, you know all of me. You know my beauty, my anger, my my happiness, my silliness, my faults, this, that.
Right.
And through all that, you still love me.
Yeah.
And that's the important part here.
Yeah, and so emotional safety, it's when we are able to say, this is how I feel, without worry that you're going to be shut down, that you're going to be judged, or you're going to be rejected. So we want to be able to say really how we feel without losing ourselves and shutting down, being judged, or rejected.
And a real simple way to start that is, hey, Cathy, I need to talk to you about something that I've been feeling. It has nothing to do with you, it's just how I feel.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Okay? And without that safety, even love starts to feel unstable.
Yeah. I think this is so true. We see couples who love each other deeply, but they still feel completely disconnected. And that's one of the first questions we ask our clients when we do a discovery session is, do you still love each other?
Yeah. And do you want the marriage to work out?
And do you want the relationship to
Right.
work out? Those are the two major questions. So we know couples will feel very deeply in love with each other, but they still feel completely disconnected.
Yeah, it's like, no, I love them, but there's something that's just, we feel like roommates
Yeah,
lately.
roommates, that's the big one that comes
but
up.
Yeah, it comes up all the time, right? So, because love without safety does not create connection. It creates tension. Walking on eggshells.
That's, we see a lot of couples coming in very tense.
Walking on eggshells
Yep.
is what they say.
Yeah, this is going to be a good one. Let's dive into this.
Ready? Where attachment styles come from?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
So they're formed very early in life, and it's based upon how our caregivers responded to us.
Absolutely.
And when I talk about caregivers, I'm talking about moms, dads, grandparents, the people that raised you,
Right.
aunts and uncles, anybody, anybody that was in your environment growing up. That's where they start in this early life, and they can start as young as your first remembrance, the first thought that you remember.
Exactly. So it's things like, were they consistent with us? Or were they up and down with don't do this, do that, oh, you can do this, were they consistent with everything about raising you? Were they emotionally available? Right? I mean,
did they show their emotions?
Did they show their?
Did they sit and listen to your emotions?
Exactly. And most of our clients can answer that no,
Yeah.
right? Did they make you feel safe? Mine should. I felt every day going home, okay, what's going to happen tonight?
Right.
It was unsafe, right?
Yeah. Or were they unpredictable? Or were they unavailable?
Right.
Or even overwhelming. Sometimes, parents are doing the very best they can, and they're overwhelming, which creates an overwhelming environment for you.
And I think part of that overwhelmingness comes from this. A lot of parents are trying to make up for what they didn't have as a child growing up. So they become a little more controlling, so to speak, a little more of a helicopter parent.
Yeah.
Right? Because they want to make sure, even though they've been through hell and back, and they're fine, but we seem to forget about that sometimes as parents.
Yeah, and as we get into the attachment stuff, I think we'll be able to see where that comes from too.
Right. So, and as a child, you start forming beliefs like, am I safe?
Right.
Do I feel safe when I go home? Do I matter? There's a lot of, parents blow you off all the time. I guess
Don't feel like you matter.
Yeah, I'm not enough. Will someone be there for me?
Yeah.
Right? If I'm really struggling, can I go back to child, can I go talk to mom or dad about something that's really bothering me?
Right. And I think what's really crazy about all of those questions and thoughts those things we learn as a child, is those beliefs, they don't just disappear as we mature. They don't go away when you're in middle school.
No.
They don't go away when you're in high school. They grow right along with you, and they follow you right into your marriage, right into your adult relationships. And so a lot of times we think, oh, this is just happening when I'm younger. No, you're carrying them with you. They don't go away.
And it's in your subconscious mind that this is all happening. It's
a lot of these things don't show up until you're in a relationship.
They show up in different ways, but when you get in that marriage or intimate relationship, it's like they're hiding behind a rib in your body.
Just doing push-ups, waiting to come
doing
out.
Push-ups, waiting to come out, and then you get married and things are good, and all of a sudden, all these things start happening, right? Whether it's secure attachments or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So
we're going to talk about attachments.
Right.
There's 4 different attachment styles. Listen closely, because I think some of us will identify those. And if we're honest, but the first one I want to talk about is secure attachment.
Yes.
So, what is secure attachment?
This is where someone feels comfortable with closeness and connection. And that's where Cathy and I are right now.
We finally got there.
We finally got there. We didn't work, you can change your attachment style.
This is secure attachments where we can express our needs, we can trust our partner, and we don't panic during conflict. There's still going to be conflict, but we're not in a panic mode so much in conflict.
And here's the key. They both experience and create emotional safety.
Yeah, we're both working towards that healthy attachment.
Anxious attachment.
I got overwhelmed just listening to this one. As soon as I saw you, looking at this, I'm like, ah!
This was a more common one out of a lot of. Now let's talk about anxious attachment.
So this attachment often comes when there's inconsistent love growing up. Inconsistent love.
So as adults, they may fear abandonment. You know, it's you know, his mom and dad, are they going to be there for me when I need them? You know, or his dad bailed out on the family, or mom bailed out on the family.
No consistency.
Just all sorts of different, you know, feelings of abandonment.
Right. Yeah. So that creates the anxiousness, and in that anxiousness, they need reassurance.
Yep.
A lot of times, somebody who's dealing with anxiety, they're overthinking things.
Yep.
And they can feel like they're too much. And so when they feel like they're too much, they probably feel like they're too much for themselves, let alone too much for somebody else.
Yeah.
You know,
exactly.
so that there's anxiety going on like there.
And when anxiety happens, you know, in this situation, they can just shut down, like Cathy said.
Yeah, you're going to see there's a lot of patterns that will blend with all four of these.
With all four of these. I mean, I'm too much. I mean, as I used to think, well, I got to be too much for Cathy because she's dealing with all my stuff from my abuse. But she's sitting right here next to me, loving me more today than ever. So, so we see, we see this a lot, right? Where one partner is constantly seeking attention. Connection.
Attention and connection. I mean, they kind of go hand in hand when you think about
absolutely,
it.
they do, right?
And then the other one starts to feel overwhelmed by it.
Right.
So it's like a push-pull tug of war that goes on.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
The third attachment style is avoidant attachment, and it's almost the opposite. It's just completely on the other side of the other attachment,
right?
Of the anxious attachment.
This develops when emotional needs were not met or were dismissed, right? So, again, it comes down to that play. Why would I say anything? Nobody cares. You know, every time we talked about how I felt or this or that, I got in trouble. There's a lot of different ways to make us avoid our emotions.
Everything,
I just avoid everything.
Ignore them, yeah. So a lot of times people that have avoidant attachment, instead of moving towards the connection, they're moving away from it.
Yep.
And again, that's where they're just moving away, getting out underneath it.
And the other thing they'll do, they'll just shut down and withdraw. And they struggle with vulnerability because this is where relationships, where we talk about intimacy, it's the vulnerability of emotional intimacy that's going to grow all intimacy in your relationship. Good, healthy emotional intimacy will lead and does lead to a phenomenal physical intimacy partnership in your marriage. It requires the vulnerability. You have to be vulnerable. And a lot of people don't know how to do that or accept it.
Right, yeah. And so when we get to a place of avoidant attachment, to most people, the emotional closeness really feels unsafe. It doesn't feel comfortable at all to them. Yeah. What's the fourth one?
So this is disorganized attachment.
This was a new one to me. I don't think I had realized that there was a disorganized attachment style, and it's usually rooted in trauma or chaotic environments. When your home is upside down, if you've experienced traumatic events, if there's laundry everywhere, the house isn't clean. I mean, we all live in a home, and I realize a home is gonna be messy.
Right.
But if it's chaotic mess, that's where disorganized attachment comes into play.
They want connection, but at the same time, they're afraid of it. It's this push and pull thing because can I get close to them? And if I get close to them, are they going to be there for me?
Yeah.
Or are they going to hold what I want to talk to them about over my head? Or are they going to say, I'll do this, but you got to do that, right? And so it's just, it's a very...
Yeah, it's that come close, go away.
Yeah, come close, go away. Come close.
I look at it, stop it some more, stop it some more. Yeah. That's something that popped in my head. I used to say a lot, stop it some more. You want it, but you're afraid of it.
Right.
So, ooh.
So fear of abandonment pops in.
Yeah, all of these.
And rejection.
They all kind of intertwine with
each other.
Some will be very obvious. Others might be a mix of everything.
Exactly. So how this all plays out in marriage. Again, you're not walking around thinking about this stuff. It's back in the subconscious of your mind.
Right.
Now, here's where it shows up in real life.
Right.
Okay.
So, A lot of couples will fall into this pattern, I'm sorry to say. One pursues and the other withdraws. And we went through that. One pursued, the other withdrew. One pursues, the other withdrew. Mm-hmm.
And the anxious partner moves toward, the avoidant partner pulls away.
Mm-hmm.
So, how come he's not very affectionate with me? What do you mean I'm not affectionate with you? Every time I want to be affectionate with you, you're running away.
Mm-hmm.
So how can you say I'm not affectionate with you
Yeah.
when? So it's like one's pushing towards, and it gets to the point I think when we're pushing towards that, it becomes overwhelming to the one running away because we keep on trying to show our love to them. They don't want nothing to do with it.
So one pushes, the other one is shutting down.
Right.
And I think I can say that this sounds familiar to us.
Yeah, I mean,
You were the anxious, I was probably avoidant for a while there.
Yeah, for a while.
And you know, if one's pushing, the other's shutting down, it's hard to find a happy middle.
It's like nobody wins.
No.
So,
It's so
you know, so this kind of stuff takes baby steps to heal. So, and both people end up feeling unsafe. There they go again.
Yeah.
See, nobody wants nothing to do with me.
Yeah. No, and I think this is the key here is what we want you to hear in all of this is it's not that you don't love each other.
No, not at all.
It's not that you don't love each other at all.
You do love each other. It's still there. It's just that you've lost that connection.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's you, don't feel safe with it's that you don't feel safe with each other. Right? Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I can't get my words right today.
Stumble mumble.
Yeah.
So no problem. So we're gonna tie in. I like this one. We're gonna connect the dots because we've talked about the styles. We've talked about what they are, how they show up, how they affect marriages and relationships. But we need to connect the dots to the why. And in order to do that, we have to connect it to our childhood. So let's start connecting the dots.
So this is where we connect the dots. Ready? What you experienced as a child often becomes how you show up as an adult.
Hello.
Okay.
Yeah. So if your love was inconsistent, you may fear losing it.
Yep. If your emotions were ignored, you may stop expressing them.
And if your environment was chaotic, you may struggle to trust stability.
Marriage doesn't create these wounds.
It reveals them. Yeah,
right?
Totally reveals them. That's why we say these things show up in our adulthood and in our relationships. So, how do we start building emotional safety, Randy?
So what do we do with this, Kathy? Come on.
Yeah. There's good news in all of this because the attachment styles can change. They're not a character trait that are God-given. These are a learned behavior. And so anything that is a learned behavior can change. And those are those attachment styles. So we're going to go over some key points on how we can begin to change those attachment styles that no longer benefit us.
First thing is to start by becoming aware of your patterns. And this is where rigorous honesty is going to have to set in.
Yeah.
Find a place that you can start self-reflection by yourself and become rigorously honest with yourself about yourself.
Yeah.
Don't be pointing the finger at your partners, right? Yeah, they might be triggering you, but this is something that's been instilled in you.
Right.
So become rigorously honest with yourself about yourself.
Yeah. One of the best ways to do this self-reflection,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to awareness, we can't change what we're not aware of, but get your journal out and ask yourself just this one question to get you started is, what do I do when I feel unsafe? What do I do when I feel unsafe? And just start journaling. What do you do? How do you feel? How's your behavior? Things like that. That's going to be a big awareness to you.
Again, that's self-reflection and becoming rigorously honest with yourself.
Yeah,
right?
no, great, and absolutely, and that's why I say write it down because it's more obvious when it's written out. It brings truth to it.
All right.
The second key point on this is ownership. We
Yes.
have to take responsibility for our reactions, not the actions, but the reactions that we're taking when we're under these styles, these attachment styles.
Exactly. Your triggers may be coming from your past, not just your partner. And yeah, your partner's probably the one that triggered it, but
Because that's the relationship
that's
you're
the
in.
relationship you're in, but that triggers from somewhere from your past, and When
They don't know about
something's, they don't know about it. When something's said or done, it just triggers that memory. And you have no control over that.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Here's your favorite one. This next key point is, you're going to hear us talk about this forever, I think.
Communication.
Yeah.
All right. All these attachments underneath communication, all these things are attached to poor communication.
Right, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So learn to express needs instead of reacting. You don't have to react, right?
Yeah.
Cathy, I need to express some stuff to you that's really bothering me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not about you,
Right.
It's about me and how I feel,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that's how you start the
Yeah.
conversation.
Instead of attacking, just share what's really going on inside you. Don't
Yeah.
be afraid to be honest with yourself, therefore being honest with your partner.
You know, if you feel like your spouse is attacking, you say, I felt attacked the other day when we had this conversation. And then be prepared. A good partner, as you guys learn this, will go, can you give me an example of what you're talking
Yeah.
about? Be prepared for that, because making that accusation, which is probably viable, but give them an example of what happened, so
Right.
they know how to correct it.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah, another really true key point, and I love this one, is consistency. Emotional safety is built over time. We're not going to get it right the very first time. It's not going to be a one and done. Consistency and change of behavior over time. It's built over time.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not the big moments,
No.
right? I mean, don't look for the burning bush.
Yeah.
It's the small, consistent ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
They add up to the big. So a lot of times, other people will see you changing before you see the changes in yourself, right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
don't discount the smallest little things you do. So then there's a co-regulation.
Yeah.
Be the calm in your partner's storm. And this just happened last Thursday. I had a doctor's appointment, and something I know what happened, but they canceled the appointment because insurance played a whatever. And I didn't see the phone call. It got hidden somewhere. We drove all the way down to the doctor's office, and I was mad. Man, from number one, why'd they wait till yesterday to call me? Number one, how come I can't find the phone call and I didn't hear it come across my phone? And Cathy,
I helped co-regulate you.
she really did.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, it's probably the best. It's the first time I noticed her really do that.
Yeah.
She said, "You're okay. It's okay to be upset, Randy. You have a right to be upset. That's all right. But just chill.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not going to do no good. You know that. It's just her calm voice, saying things that I knew to be truth, not telling me what to do.
Yeah.
That's co-regulating.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we don't want to be that trigger that escalates.
No,
And
absolutely.
I probably in the past was that trigger that escalated
We
a lot
both
of things.
did that, yeah.
Because I was uncomfortable with him being upset. And I've gotten to the place, and maybe somebody else can relate to this, I used to want to fix it and make it all better because I was so uncomfortable with him being upset. And I'll be honest, I was a little uncomfortable with it, but I thought, what am I going to do to de-escalate and co-regulate how he's feeling, because it was affecting both of us.
Yes.
So co-regulation is really key.
Yes, exactly.
So as we wind this down, this was good. It was good to study this and get some more knowledge on it. If you're listening right now and you might be thinking, oh, that's me, and your hands in the air, oh my gosh, why isn't my name attached to this podcast, whatever that is, because I've been in those places before. I just want to tell you, you're not broken. No.
You adapted to survive. I believe God gives us these innate survival skills as children. They just kind of morph into our behavior. And they work great for a really long time.
They protected you at one
For a
point.
long time, right? Until they don't work. So, and now they may be hurting your relationship.
Absolutely.
That's okay. It's fixable. Nothing's so far broken we can't fix it.
Right, because healing starts with the awareness
Mhm.
and the intentional change, and I
Right.
love that. I always say this, we can't change what we're not aware of, but we have to be intentional to the change now too.
Those are critical.
Yeah.
Once you become aware, what are you going to do? Now
Action.
you're aware of what's going on. Now, I'm going to work on it. You need to be intentional about how you're going to change.
Yeah, what are you going to do to do it?
Set out a plan.
And
meet
if
with
you
a
don't
coach.
have a
meet with a
plan, you
counselor.
don't know, reach out to us.
Yeah,
We're here to
absolutely.
help
Yeah.
walk you through that too.
Right.
So,
You don't have to do this alone. A lot of this you can't do alone.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
So If this episode resonated with you, we want to invite you to take the next step.
Yeah. So I know you hear this often, and we love this part of it. We do offer a 1-hour no-cost discovery session. This is where you can share what's going on. Let us know what your goals are. What are your desires? We'll share a little bit about ourselves. But all of this we're here to help you with this because we know the value of a healing journey, a healthy relationship, a healthy marriage.
Right, and also that 1 hour discovery, it helps you and us to understand the patterns in your relationship, right?
Yeah.
Just at the surface level, but it's just a beginning, gives us a base.
And then we can work through it with you.
Exactly, no judgment, no condemnation, right?
Yeah, so if you're interested in a 1-hour discovery session, you can reach out to us through our website, which is www.healandrestorecounseling.com. We will get back to you in, Randy likes to say 4 hours, but I'll say 24 hours, but it's usually less than 24 hours, definitely.
So thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, and if this helped you, share it with someone who needs it. We know that there's others out there that experience a lot of these things, and that's why we do what we do, and we want you to share it with others.
We just got 3 more asks. Brother, over and above pressing the
share button.
The share button. Well, no, the signing up for a discovery session.
Discovery session, yeah.
Press the share button, the like button, and the follow button.
Yeah.
That's all we ask of you to do.
Yeah.
So,
So just remember, healing is possible, restoration is possible, and your relationship is worth the work because you're worth it.
You're worth it, absolutely.
Yeah.
You're worth it. So remember this, everybody. If nobody tells you they love you, Randy does.
Cathy does.
But more importantly, God does. Be blessed, everybody. Have a fabulous week.
Have a great week.